It's berry season, but not only that, I'm still struggling to get a repairman over to fix the AC. And how do you keep cool when literally any cooking heats up the house past safe living limits? Hello, shepherds, welcome back. And if you're new here, hello. This is where we talk all things sheepy. My name's Megan, and today we're cooling ourselves off from the inside out. We have a fridge and we have a freezer. So let's make some strawberry ice cream. That personally is a lifesaver. Being out in the sticks is pretty nice. We have berries and sheep. But if something needs a repair, it's not uncommon to be on a wait list for several weeks, if not months. And nothing beats the heat than settling down with an ice pack on my neck or head and a bowl of ice cream. So for this recipe, we'll need some strawberries, picked at their peak freshness for that really big pop of flavor. I want to layer the strawberry flavors, so with each bite, we have marinated strawberry sprinkles mixed throughout our strawberry foundation, topped with some strawberry syrup. So let's start by making our strawberry sprinkles and strawberry syrup. This is a pretty flexible recipe, even so, some things are best made ahead of time. And this syrup is really one of them. It's super easy to make, and all we need is strawberries, sugar, and a sterilized jar. So let's start by holding our berries. I first learned about this super simple syrup at a community lunch, which was basically a tasting and recipe swap. This syrup, and I know, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong, it's a type of Cheong. There are quite a few types of Cheongs. It can be made in a fermented style, so bubbly, or also sweet. And for today, I'm making the sweet style. So now that our berries are chopped, we want to weigh our berries out and our sugar out. For the Cheong, we need half a cup or 50 grams of strawberries, weighed with the hulls off, 1/3 of a cup or 50 grams of sugar granulated. Ultimately, we want our sugar to berry ratio to be a 1-to-1 by weight. I listed the recipe in with volume as well, but I really recommend a kitchen scale if you can afford one. When packing our jar in, we really want our berries to be covered in sugar. So let's alternate our berry layer and our sugar layer. And when we run out berries, we cover the last bit with the remaining bits of our sugar to top it off. Oh, and make sure that there's some headspace here. So to let some of that fermentation bubbles out. It'll be really mild because we're storing it in the fridge, but it'll still be there. So now let's go ahead and marinate this in the fridge. And after about 2 weeks, we're going to strain our berries out, and you can save those berries to add to your favorite yogurt or lemonade, but we want to reserve our syrup for our recipes later on. Keeping it in the fridge, you can store it that way till you get old, then maybe you can pass it down to your children or your neighbor's children, maybe even till you become the old croon of the forest, unless you're already one right now. Now let's make our preserves. This is optional for our strawberry ice cream, but I really find these little bits of strawberries to really add a lot of fun to the ice cream. Like sprinkles, but fruit. So cut your strawberries to the size that you feel is the most fun. For this recipe, we need 1.5 cups or 170 grams of strawberries, 115 grams of sugar, and the high-proof vodka will suffuse throughout our berries as they marinate, pushing out a lot of that water. So when we add it to our ice cream, they'll still remain soft and chewable. I only have flavored vodka on hand, so that's what I'm using. So now let's add our berries to our clean jar, and I like to alternate our sugar layer and berry layer. If I don't do this, the sugar tends to clump a little. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm aiming to coat each of the berries fully with sugar so that it will draw out all that moisture. I'm also adding a few sprigs of common thyme. I really like that depth of flavor and subtle complexity that it really adds to our berry sauce. And now let's go ahead and add in our alcohol. I'm adding in 4 tablespoons or 29 grams of vodka, 60 proof. We want this to marinate anywhere from 2 hours to even up to 2 days in our fridge. Now let's mix up our ice cream base. I'm starting by holding all of our berries. I picked these up at a local U-Pick and then added some of my own alpine strawberries I managed to save from our ducks and chickens. One of the keys to having a flavorful strawberry ice cream with a lot of strawberry impact is selecting the freshest, peak ripeness of berries. They're pretty red throughout the center, except for the alpines, of course. And they may be small and misshapen, but flavor-wise, these are top-notch. So let's add our berries to our container It's coming out to about 4 cups or 500 grams, weighed with their holes removed. I'm going to puree them in this jar and then pop it in the fridge. It cuts down on washing the dishes, which I'm a particular fan of. Also, my camera does this thing where occasionally it corrupts the footage files. I risked filming this step in one go. So added but not shown here is half a teaspoon or 2 grams of salt and half a teaspoon or 2 grams of vanilla extract. Okay, so next up, I know this can be controversial, but this step really helps in preventing those ice crystals from forming, and that's using an invert sugar such as corn syrup or glucose syrup. If you don't want to use it, that's okay. Maple syrup nor honey are an invert sugar, so it'll sweeten the base, but it won't help in preventing those ice crystals. So we want to drizzle in about half a cup or 147 grams of our syrup into our jar. And then to give our strawberries an herbal boost, I'm adding a few sprigs of thyme into our mason jar. And then we're going to just puree everything together. I'm taking the stems off even though they're a little soft, but if you have some woody stems, you may want to omit that. And then we can't have our ice cream without the help of our backyard pasture potatoes. I'm using our lightly skimmed fresh sheep's milk. It's lightly skimmed since only a little cream rose since this morning. It's pretty much a half lard anyway, so let's add in about 2 cups or 540 grams. If you want to use half milk and half cream, use it. Sheep's milk to me is super thick and there's a lot of milk solids in there, which is helpful in making that ice cream have a lot of body. And when we're making ice cream, we really want to use as little water in our base as possible to prevent those ice crystals from forming and then locking together to make that glorified ice cube. So let's go ahead and puree everything up. I really love how it just swirls up so pretty, and it's really so hard to resist drinking this up too. It's important to taste everything though, so now it's a good time to adjust our sweetness to your preference. There will be a little sugar added later on with that strawberry sprinkle mix that we had made previously. Oh, and also, I almost forgot, let's add our zest. It can be really hard to find lemon zest or lime zest locally, so if you want to substitute with some lemon or lime juice, I'd add in about a splash or 2, so a couple spoonfuls. Nothing too exact really. It'll add some brightness to our ice cream. I'm going to be using our zest from our sad indoor lemon tree. It's sad because we're frozen a good half of the year, which, tropicals struggle with. I should probably get some more grow lights. I don't know, what do you think? It's a survivor. Okay, so now that everything's mixed up, we want to chill it down for a couple hours, maybe if you want. That'll help it freeze more efficiently. And then let's go ahead and toss in our ice cream base in the machine. After that, let's go ahead and add in our strawberry sprinkle additives, sugar and alcohol as well. Though the alcohol amounts we're using in this recipe isn't enough to get drunk off of. I've had some family members be like, oh, we're gonna get drunk. No, you're not, okay? Even if you tried to slam down a whole pint of ice cream, I think biologically it would be impossible to get drunk off this alcohol. The alcohol in this recipe is actually more used as an old style or traditional trick to help keep our high berry, high fruit ice creams pretty smooth. So now let's go ahead and let it churn away for a few hours. With my machine in particular, it tends to churn out more soft serve-ish instantly. So I like to scoop it into containers and then pop it in the freezer to firm it up some more. So now that our ice cream is ready, let's go ahead and top it with some more thyme, some fresh strawberries, some alpine strawberries as well, and I'm also topping it with some fresh elderflowers as a little sprinkles as well. And don't forget that nice drizzle of Cheong or simple syrup for that added pop of flavor. I really love how smooth and creamy this ice cream is without feeling heavy or coating your tongue with butterfats. The sheep's milk has a natural sweetness and that lactic flavor that pairs really well with the strawberries. So don't forget to leave me a strawberry emoji if you love strawberries. And it's dangerously hot outside, and for some of us, inside too. So how are you staying cool and safe this summer? I really hope you try this recipe, and I know you'll really enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of strawberries. And if you've made it this far and extra big and fluffy, thank you for watching. Don't forget, I appreciate you. And if you're curious about more sheep meal recipes, check out my other videos. And until next time, stay soft, stay fluffy, and most importantly, stay true to you.